Snoke trained you well.
I killed Snoke. I'll kill you.
My boy, I made Snoke. I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head.
What's up, party people, and everyone holding out for a solo Ranker Keeper film? Welcome to episode 8 of the Boonta Eve Party Planners. Joe here, broadcasting from the smoldering forest of Endor, also known as the Pacific Northwest, which has seemed a little bit more like Mustafar as of late. Where are my fellow planners at?
This is Malachi coming from Atlanta, Georgia, a.k.a. Bespin Cloud City, which is actually the actual reverse of you. It got cold as hell here. Literally, as soon as September came in, temperatures been dropping. So, yeah, it's weird.
And this is Paco coming to you from the city of Thieg by the river, a.k.a. Richmond. It's been crappy weather here the last couple of days. Lots of rain.
Hey, at least it isn't on fire. That's all I have to say.
That's true.
Very true.
Push me off the wrong cliff, and I'm on fire. That's the way it is. Mostly it's been the smoke. The smoke's been really bad. The smoke was so bad that I think even though our schools are still doing remote up until I think next week, they were closed for a week just for smoke getting into the schools. Bonkers. But 2020, man. 2020. Entire West Coast is on fire.
Hasn't been a good month yet, man.
Nope. We've definitely said that a few times. So,
yeah.
I don't know.
Still haven't had a good one.
I can't help but think that things will just change when we hit 2021, but I know that it's just a human construct and it means nothing. So I'm like, just a continuation.
It'll just keep going.
I saw a thing online. I was like, it's all because Cats was released. Cats came out Christmas Day, and that was it. It opened that portal, and it's killing us.
Some sort of Lovecraftian eldritch horror just spilled out of that film.
Rum Tum Tuggers coming to kill us all.
Oh man! Imagine a giant Rum Tum Tugger with the Cthulhu tentacles. Stuff a nightmare right there.
Singing. He's got to be singing though.
Oh, even better.
Well, as people probably know, I did get a little top spot on a little arcade game.
Yeah. Now all the way. I knew you had it.
We're gonna see if my arcade machine even lasts. Because I swear to God, lately I felt like I just want to rip the yoke right off of it.
See, you gotta do what I do. I see how I got that score was I was like, you know what? I need to block all sounds out, so I put some headphones in, and I was like, I'm just gonna hit random on my music player. I'm gonna listen to something, and then the funny thing is, the first song that came on was actually a song that was actually inspired by Star Wars, and so heard the words of a wise old Jedi. He goes, "It's getting hard to keep on keeping on." Because the Force, it's got a lot of power. It makes me feel like a woo. Yes, Jedi Michael Jackson said, "Don't stop till you get enough," and I did not stop till I beat that score.
Okay, all right. I'll take some advice from the Jedi Master. Fucking hell, man! I have not even come close. I've done well, but I haven't even come close to that score, and I don't know. Best I can say.
I was literally like the kid in the wizard. I was just focused.
Jedi reflexes.
I still have no idea how I did it.
Using the power glove. That's how you did it.
Yeah,
I love my glove. It's so bad.
It's a terrible accessory. The power glove is the worst.
It was.
I love how the kid even says it. He says it right. He's like, "I love my power glove. It's so bad."
Literally.
I think he was saying bad as in good.
Nah, no way. You think?
I mean,
kill somebody.
The truth is that it is just bad, but
yeah.
I mean, can you imagine? The person that has the top score, the single person that has the top score on the arcade Star Wars game, played for literally 49 hours and was over 300 million points. I don't know how you play for 49 hours. I mentioned this like way earlier on a podcast where like a team played for like 5 days or some shit. I don't know how you play for 49 hours. I don't see how it's physically, humanly possible. Like there's no time between those waves.
He's got some type of Doctor Strange power. He's stopping time, going to sleep, coming back to the game, and restarting time up again. Because it was getting draining, just like the almost 25 minutes I played. And I'm like, come on, this is yeah.
Oh, exactly. It's nuts. I've been doing the same thing, just trying to beat that score, which has not happened yet. I finished up Cobra Kai, which is fantastic. Highly recommend Cobra Kai. Even though it's just now on Netflix, it was on YouTube Red, but I guess they realized nobody was going to pay for a YouTube channel and just moved it to Netflix. I don't know why they're holding out on season 3 though, because it's been filmed for months.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, they finished that. I guess they don't want to run out of stuff to drop because Netflix has been dropping a lot of stuff lately. So they're like, ooh, we're not really filming right now. So yeah, let's kind of hold off on what we got because we're gonna eventually run out of stuff. But a few shows have actually started back up filming down here. So I worked on a film about a week ago, and just the day-to-day is completely different. I mean, I had to get tested like a few days prior, tested the day of. I mean, literally you're like being hazmated down as you walk in. As soon as they yell cut, everyone has to like scramble and get away from each other. It's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, it's going to be a whole new world, I think, when it comes to Hollywood and how they film stuff.
Luckily enough, this was only like a 5-person scene I did, so it was only like the main actor and like five of us. But I want to know how they're gonna do like big crowd shots and stuff, like especially with like films like Spider-Man and stuff shooting. I mean, you're gonna have crowd scenes and stuff. Like hell yeah.
CG.
They'll use the volume.
Yeah, they'll get Weta to make them some crowd shots.
Very true. Very true.
What you been up to, Paco?
I mean, basically the same thing as you. I'm almost done with Cobra Kai. I got I think maybe 1 or 2 episodes left to go. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
So good.
It's so fun. It's a fun show, man. I love Zabka, man. Billy Zabka is fucking killing it. He is so good in that show.
He really is. Like he's shown that he's like a really, really good actor.
Yeah, it's crazy. He's so good. He's so good. He's so funny. I love Johnny. Like he's kind of like Kenny Wayne Powers of karate. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
He's so shitty, but you can't help but root for him at the same time. It's so funny, and he's so funny. That show's good. I've been watching all day today. I've been watching Utopia on Prime. I
don't know that one.
It's Gillian. What's her name? Gillian Flynn, chick who wrote Gone Girl, and
okay.
Is it Rainn Wilson on that one?
Rainn Wilson, yep. Rainn Wilson's in it, and John Cusack, and a bunch of no-name people I never heard of. But it's weird, man. Based on some British show. It's very odd, very kind of, I don't know how to describe it. It's good, though. It's really good. It's weird. Weird conspiracy shit with weird comic books, and it's pretty cool, man.
I'll have to check that out once the boys is over. I'll have to watch that one.
I've been watching it for like 5 hours today.
Did I see on the Instagram that did you get a new whip? Did you get a new ride?
Well, it's new to us. Let's put it that way. It's not a new car, but yeah, we got a new whip. My ex sister-in-law's car. We bought that for my brother-in-law.
Oh hell yeah!
So
nice.
Yeah, pretty tight. What is it? It's a Elantra. What's that? Hyundai Elantra. It's a car. I don't really give a shit. Whatever. Sarah drives it more than me already. Like instantly. Yeah. Like let's put the car seat in there.
Yeah, right on. So I have a quick follow-up from our last episode where we talked about Anakin and Obi-Wan. Did you realize, I was looking through the episode 1 visual dictionary, did you know that Coyote-Mundi was actually on the council as a Jedi Knight? He was not elevated to the level of Master before he got put on the Jedi Council?
You know what?
Oh, wow.
I did. You know what? Now that you mention it, I think I do remember reading that.
Yeah, he also did not have a Padawan. Like, I don't think he ever took on a Padawan.
He was also
He's like, nope.
If I'm not mistaken as well, I mean, I don't know that. I'm pretty sure now that you mentioned some of these weird Kiadi Mundi facts, I think he was a Jedi that's actually allowed to marry for some reason, and does have it's something to do with his alien culture. Like I feel like you guys. I feel like you guys can quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. I can't remember all the specifications, but I'm pretty sure he was allowed to marry for some reason.
That would be a pretty big break of the Jedi code there if he gets a pass. But given the Jedi Council, I'm not surprised.
It's something weird with his race. It's some weird like tradition thing, or I don't even remember. But I'll look it up. I'll text it to you when we're done.
Doesn't he have two brains? Doesn't he have like that's the reason his head's so big?
Yes.
He'd be like, look at your brain on Coyote Mundi.
Brain, yes, that is true.
Can't have a Padawan, but can have a wife.
He knew what was up. He just outsmarted them all. He also is the only one that seems like he's always working from home too. Dude is always just a hologram.
He's always phoning in.
He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna call from home. It's gonna be fine. They let me do whatever I want. I'm Coyote Mundi.
Yeah, literally, like episode 1 is the only time you see him in the chamber. That's the only time.
He is concerned about the Wookiees, though. He wants to know about them Wookiees. Man, but it's been a busy week for Star Wars news the past couple of weeks. We got the Mando trailer, which we're going to talk about. Yes. And then the past couple of days have been Hasbro PulseCon, which a bunch of toys were released, and Mal kind of talked about it a little bit. We are none too pleased with a bunch of repaints of holiday clone troopers and stormtroopers. I mean, what the hell, man? There's so many figures, so many 6-inch Black Series figures that you could do that haven't been done yet. But instead we get a bunch of like stormtroopers and holiday sweaters. Seriously, Hasbro, what the fuck?
Like I said, I mean, those are fine for like Legos and Pops. Those do not work on Black Series figures.
I didn't even. Those ones. That's silly.
Their weapons, they have like candy canes, and like Babu Frick is painted in red and green. It's just weird ass shit. Like Dio is in it, and Dio's painted brown, and he has a red nose like Rudolph. Damn, they sold out though instantly because
wow,
ridiculous. The new HasLab project is pretty rad, which is the Razor Crest, which I'm sure you saw by now.
Yeah.
The coolest thing about that, I think, and I've mentioned it a few times, is the goddamn space toilet. It has a fully molded space toilet, a urinal, and the thing that you go pee in. So it's good to see. Yep, good to see that you got some space toilets.
Some realism.
Exactly.
At first, I thought it was that Black Series. I was like, that's just gonna be huge. But then it's like finished. I was like, okay, that's cool.
It's already big though. It's over 30 inches in length, and I think like 20 inches in width. Yeah, I can imagine.
10 inches in height.
I can imagine Mando holding like Baby Yoda over the toilet, trying to get him to go to the bathroom, like potty training on the Razor Crest. You know what's going to be happening. Every kid that gets one of those, I mean, I'm kidding. There's not going to be a kid that's going to end up with those Razor Crests. It's going up all 40-year-olds for $350. It's fucking ridiculous. As a kid, I would have been really excited to have a playset like the Barge or the Razor Crest. That would have gotten a lot of toy action.
Well, you had the one set to this day. I'm jealous of that I never got Jam Eternia.
Yep. I still have Eternia at my parents' house. Masters of the Universe.
That was rad.
Yeah, the monorail system was probably one of my favorite things ever out of that. Yeah, so that was the big HasLab thing. And Paco, I don't know if do you remember Hero Quest?
Hero Quest?
Yeah, the board game.
The board game, yep.
Yeah. So they've got a HasLab project for that too. So they're remaking Hero Quest as its own thing, and I'm really considering doing it. But I found out the shipping for it was $30. So I'm like,
yeah,
that'll bring it up to almost $200. I don't have that much liquidity.
But it got like it hit the $1 million back end goal in less than 24 hours.
Yeah, wow. It was real fast. People are very excited about it. I'm excited about it. I don't know. You know what else I'm excited about? I'm excited about that Mando trailer.
Fucking right.
Yes.
We're just over a month out for the first episode of season 2, which I'm hearing they're going to go with the, it's going to be chapter 9, I think. So I think it's just going to continue the numbering. So that's cool.
That is cool.
I got to say, though, honestly, as far as the trailer goes, I was kind of meh about the trailer. I don't know if anybody else in the group agrees, but I thought the trailer, it was all right.
But yeah, one thing I will have to say is I'm kind of happy was it didn't give away too much. That was one of the bright spots of the first season was that everything was a surprise. It was like everything was like bam, okay, we really didn't know what was going to happen. So I'm kind of glad the trailer was kind of just what it was that way, especially being only a month out.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought they did a good job. It's got me tantalized. Did a good job. I mean, even like the first Force Awakens trailer. I mean, that was cool and all, but I mean, it didn't really tell you much. You know what I'm saying? It made it more exciting.
Yeah,
I'm excited.
I don't mind it not saying anything, and I agree that like that's part of it is that we never even knew that Baby Yoda was going to be a thing because it wasn't in any promotional material, and that's cool. But there's a lot of stuff and a lot of rumors that have come out on casting alone that seem to have given away aspects of the story, which I wish hadn't even come out.
But see, I don't even know if any of that's necessarily true, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got you.
Like that, I feel like none of that was actually confirmed, right? Like, we don't really know Ahsoka Tano's gonna be in it, do we?
I don't think we do officially. No, there's never been any official announcements of Ahsoka Tano or Boba Fett or Rex.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely cast. Like, Rosario Dawson's definitely going to be in the show.
I guess even that hasn't been officially announced.
Yeah, that we've never got any official confirmation on that.
So there you go. They don't even want to. They've got something. They've got something brewing. I guarantee it. I mean, and just the end of the last season with the reveal. Like, yeah, the child is cool. Like the reveal of that. Like when I saw that at the end of that first episode, I was like, "Holy shit!"
The Darksaber.
And I immediately. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, at the very end of the last episode, when Gideon cuts himself out with the Darksaber, I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "That is fucking rad!" Like, I cannot wait. And whoever the fuck is jangling around in the desert, there's cool stuff to coming, man.
Yeah,
who knows?
I thought for sure that it was Gideon that was in the desert with the Spurs, but after seeing the end of the season, I was like, no, I don't think it is. It's like I don't think it is him.
No.
I mean, there's a rumor that Timothy Oliphant is supposed to be in this season too.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and he's awesome. Timothy Oliphant is great in everything.
I've loved him since Scream 2, man.
I don't know why I want to keep calling him Timmy Oliphant.
Well, you guys are boys.
I guess so.
You know? You've been down since Scream 2.
Yeah, man. Scream 2 is one of my favorite movie-going experiences in Pembroke Mall.
That one was fun. That one was very fun.
It felt like we were in the theater that was in the movie. It was wild as hell. It was good times.
It was wild as hell that night. That theater was packed.
Too much fun. I wish more movies were like that. People got to get up.
Yes.
Get up and represent.
Holler at that screen.
Exactly. Or Urban Legends was another one that was really fun to see, and people were just yelling at the screen.
When the part where they fucking have to crawl over fucking Ghostface in that fucking cop car, like everyone in that theater was like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
So who do you guys think Sasha Banks is? She's obviously not Ahsoka, and she's not Sabine. I've seen that rumor tossed around a few times.
She's the man. That's who she is.
She's the man.
She's the man.
Isn't she Snoop Dogg's like grandkid or something?
I don't know.
No. Niece. She's
very good. She's a very good wrestler.
She's
though.
related to Snoop Dogg, like for real, Malachi. She's somehow related to Snoop Dogg, like maybe a niece or something.
I think you're right. Okay.
I don't know. I don't think she's a Sith. I wonder what she is. I mean, I'm 100% sure she's not a Sith because that shouldn't really be a thing. And I don't think she's like part of Luke's New Order, but I don't know. Interesting. That was probably the most interesting aspect of it. It was like, who's this chick? What's she up to?
Disappearing and all that. Like, okay.
For real. What do you guys think of the Snow Planet? Like, Malachi, you might have a good insight on this. And Paco, you haven't played Fallen Order yet, right?
No.
Dude, you need to pick that game up. It's good times.
Yes.
I don't ever play. I don't play my PlayStation at all.
You're going to play it next week when Squadron comes out, right?
Probably not.
You got to be part of our squadron.
I mean, I'll try to get it eventually, but that involves all kinds of other garbage. I got to get like stupid PlayStation Plus and all kinds. It costs so much goddamn money that I don't have.
True. All right, so the ice planet that you see in the trailer, I think it might be Ilum.
Same here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it feels a lot like Ilum from the Clone Wars, and in Fallen Order, you have to go to Ilum at one point, and it sort of looks like the Jedi Temple on Ilum.
Huh.
And it would make sense. If he's trying to track down these missing sorcerers, then going to Jedi temples kind of makes sense.
Sure does.
What about the water planet that you see in the trailer? Any guesses on that one?
It's Kit Fisto's jam, dog. I don't know.
Do you think it's Mon Cal?
You think it's Mon Cal?
I think it's Mon Cal
Yeah.
because you see Quarrens and like hanging out on like the little dock. Because at first I thought, oh, what if it was Camino? Because it would make sense for the whole concept that one guy with the glasses from the first season had a Camino patch on his shoulder.
They're going to end up there eventually.
I think you're right.
Where we're at, Camino.
Yeah, that'll probably be season 4. Go to Camino. By then, Baby Yoda will be like a teen. He'll be like teenage Groot.
I don't know, because I mean, if it took him 50 years to get that big,
They aged differently. Who knows?
yeah.
Yeah, I really liked a couple other things I really liked that I made note of was I liked the wrestling Gamorreans. Like I thought
Yeah.
that was cool. I thought that was really neat. And I thought the
Scout
scene
Troopers and speeder bikes.
Hell
that
yeah,
was one of my.
that's the next one I was going to mention when he like does that foot drag on the speeder bike.
Yes.
So good. Love it.
And that one speeder bike that goes launching and like cracks off the ground.
Mm-hmm. Hella tight. Do you think that it's going to be more of like the way last season was with it being a couple episodes that are like the core story and then more episodes that are sort of like one shots that slowly progress it? Or do you think it's going to be more of an overarching story throughout the season?
I think they're going to do it half and half again.
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Standalone episodes and you'll get your story building stuff.
It was surprising to me last season how many people were calling those episodes filler. Because it's an 8-episode season, and I think they're so used to things like Stranger Things and some of the other binge-worthy type shows that come out on streaming services that are just meant to be watched in one sitting.
Even those are bloated with filler episodes.
A little bit.
It doesn't matter.
So, but I think that Mandalorian's a little bit more like normal television in a way, where each episode's released once a week. You know, some of the episodes push forward the story more than others.
Yep.
Like the British kind of way, like how they do the short seasons, but they tell a full story within those short seasons. Kind of makes things like the BBC way.
Yeah, like Doctor Who. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they would follow that sort of system because, I don't know, that system works well for things that don't have definitive beginning and end release dates. So it's a little bit easier to say, okay, well, here's part of a story and we'll see you in a year or two.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I was excited to see how many Emmys it won. The music in Season 1 was fantastic, so I'm glad that it got a lot of technical awards. Honestly, okay, so unpopular opinion here. I don't know if you've watched it yet, Paco. I know Malachi has not, but Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance on Netflix.
I watched half of it.
Okay, so it won Best Child Program for Emmy, the Emmy Awards, and well-deserving because I thought it was fantastic. Unpopular opinion here, it got canceled. Honestly,
Yep.
I would have been more excited to see a second season of that than Mandalorian.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I really, really liked Dark Crystal a lot. It just, the artistry and craft that went into it, and the story was just super deep. It had a lot going on, and I'm real upset that it just sort of ended almost mid-story. I mean, you know where it's going because it's a prequel to the actual Dark Crystal, but I would have liked to have seen at least a second season to round it out. I'm getting kind of burnt out on Netflix starting stuff that they don't finish.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm it too.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. And especially after you win an Emmy, I don't really see where you go from saying, you know what? Let's just not do it. But don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I'm super fucking excited for Mandalorian. It's going to be probably the brightest spot of 2020.
I bet that show's fucking super expensive, though.
You think?
Yeah. All those puppets, that's a lot of money, man.
I guess so. I suppose.
All that, the amount of workers it takes to accomplish a scene, it's a lot of work. Those movies are pretty kind of expensive. I mean, especially the movies themselves, they're pretty expensive movies.
Yeah, I agree. So you guys got any other thoughts on the Mando trailer? Anything else you saw or?
I'm excited. Din Djarin, man. He's coming back. He's coming back hard.
Space toilets. That's what I'm excited for.
Yeah, I'm excited to see this thing in action.
Well, I guess,
Apparently the Cassian show is going to go into production, I think, in about a week.
yeah, they had to get a different showrunner. Not a showrunner, but a different director because the guy that was supposed to do it, who's still the showrunner, did not want to travel because of the virus. So I get that. But the guy that's doing it now, the guy that's directing it, is the same guy that did the miniseries for BBC for Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell, which was really, really good. In classic Rogue One fashion, I think they're just switching up their teams.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun. I think the Cassian show, I think, has a lot of promise. And that would be the show that I would have thought Ahsoka would show up in, because Cassian was a fulcrum.
Fulcrum.
Yeah. They could have just called the show Fulcrum, and it would have been really cool, and Ahsoka could have been in it that way. But who knows? Maybe that's exactly what they're doing, and we just don't know.
Yeah. Good points. All good points. And I'm excited for that one, too. It's going to be cool. I see it being kind of like cool spy buddy cop shit. I don't know. It's going to be fun, man. I love K2SO.
Yes,
She's great.
yeah.
He's one of the bright spots of that movie so much to me. I love when he backhands the shit out of Cassian and tells him to shut up. It's like, quiet.
Or you'll get another one.
Hopefully we'll see how they met. That'd be kind of cool.
Where prisoners go.
Or when she shoots the other K2 droid, and he's like, "Did you know that wasn't me?" She's like, "Sure, yeah, I knew." Good times. Just over a month, we'll have a new episode of The Mandalorian. I'm excited, very hyped up about that. And other than that, we don't have much other Star Wars stuff. I mean, eventually the Bad Batch will be out, probably next year, and getting ready to go into a drought, I think.
I think so, too.
So let's get into our core topic, even though the Mandalorian trailer was definitely part of our main discussion. I thought it would be fun to kind of jump into the sequels and talk about them a little bit, because we haven't touched on that in depth yet in any of the episodes. And all three of us really love the sequels. I think we all kind of agree that we, in a way, like them more than the prequels. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, agree.
Yeah, I would just say that. And I mean, I like two of the sequels.
Yes. We're aware.
We know.
Two of them a lot. One of them I don't. Oh.
I watched The Rise of Skywalker again like this week, and every time I watch it, I like it a little bit more, because I like it as like this fun, silly science fiction adventure movie, and I think it gets the heart of Star Wars right. But I think I've said that almost every time that you said you don't like it, so I think that we.
Every time I watch it again, I just see the more things I don't like.
Yeah.
Every time I'm like, oh god, that's dumb.
I think I say that every episode too. I think when you say that it's dumb, I just go ay.
I do. I love the sequels mostly.
That's why this team works so well, because some of us agree, some of us don't. Everybody's got their own opinion, and you know what? We all love Star Wars just fine. There's nothing.
Yep.
Yeah, I still love it. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There are things I like about that movie. Don't get me wrong, because I mean, I don't really prefer Episode 1 very much out of the prequels, but you know what? I'll watch it if I have to, and there are parts I'll be like, that's pretty cool. Pod racing scene's pretty all right. Yeah.
And that's so funny, because Episode 1 is one of my favorite prequels. Again, I think that's well known and established at this point.
I like it. I like it for personal reasons.
Yeah, man.
Like, we had so much fun with that movie, but overall, as far as story and acting, that one's rough on the acting. God.
Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going into something that we like to call the blame game. Pretty much. The main topic this week is going to be sequel related, and out of all the bad shit the First Order did, how much blame can be placed on the four leads of the First Order? So, like, we're thinking along the lines of the First Order did a lot of bad shit. Think of it being like war crimes. And we have Palpatine, Hux.
Oh, wait, you're doing it wrong. Let's do a game show style. Contestant number 1, that man himself, Chief Palpatine. And then we've got the clone, whatever the hell he was, Supreme Leader Snoke. Then we've got the Lost Weasley. General Hux. And then the emo kid himself, the master of disaster, Kylo Ren.
Everybody's favorite. Ben Solo. So,
Oh, Ben.
man, if every war crimes trial started out that way, I don't even know. Jesus.
Yeah, people would be more interested in war crimes, I think.
Maybe in prosecuting them. One can hope.
Yeah.
So First Order literally wiped out an entire star system. Hosnian Prime, gone because of the First Order. There are definitely planets that got taken out. There are villages. We see this. We see that Kylo has a container of ashes of his enemies that he keeps Darth Vader's helmet in.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't...
There's a lot
They
of...
kidnap children.
They kidnap children, exactly, to turn them to the First Order. There's a lot of fucked up stuff that the First Order does. They might arguably be worse than the Empire, because I don't think they had any intention of ruling and trying to bring order to the galaxy, despite what Hux says. I think they just wanted to rule, whereas I think the Empire at least tried to bring order to the galaxy to some extent.
Yeah, and they're not doing crazy shit. They're not kidnapping kids.
They aren't kidnapping kids. They do blow up a planet, but that was a threat. I mean, Tarkin was pretty explicit that if she didn't give him the correct information, that he was going to blow up the planet. So that's kind of on Leia, and she didn't tell the truth. So, not that I'm, condoning the Empire. let me backtrack there. I'm not saying that's right. Just to clarify, Leia lied and people died. That's pretty much what happened. So I think we could boil it down just the easy 10 for 10 here. Palpatine's it's all his fault. He's 100% culpable. Palpatine from the beginning had it all planned out. So we talked 2 episodes ago, we talked about Palpatine and his master plan, falling down the Death Star and the clone and all that. Yeah, definitely his fault. How much blame do you think he actually had, though, in perpetrating all the horrors of the First Order? Do you think he was really was he passive in it, or do you think he was really influencing it?
I don't know, because he would have been like, shit, I didn't do this. I wasn't that bad. Damn.
No, he was doing it because he was Snoke the whole time.
That's a good question.
See, we can't even count Snoke as a different person because they're the same dude.
And I want to get to that. So is Snoke a puppet? Like, is Snoke literally like a meat puppet?
Yeah, Snoke is just a puppet. He's just a fucking weird-ass, deformed vessel that he decided, to create his own alter ego for. He was like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna just pretend I am dead and be Snoke for a little bit. That's how I see it, right?
I can't tell. I don't know. I don't know how Palpatine would be able to be in his clone body on Exegol and also be inside Snoke. And if that's the case,
so I was thinking Snoke had his own consciousness. Yeah, I'm not giving that fact that he was a puppet. I'm thinking he was a vessel, but he was kind of like AI, kind of that just that was left to go on his own devices. He was kind of given a general thing to do, but I think he was his own consciousness.
You think? I
think so.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think.
I don't know how much agency he had.
At the beginning of Rise of Skywalker, he's like, I've been every voice you've heard inside your head. So, I mean, he was even pretending to be Vader. You know what I mean?
True, very true.
Absolutely. So, we don't know how much agency Snoke actually had on his own. How much, control did Snoke have over his own destiny and what he was choosing to do?
Sith magic.
So, that's the dividing point there. If Snoke had no agency over what was happening, he wasn't his own person, how can he be blamed for anything that happened?
He can't be. He's not, because he's not a real person. He's not real. That guy is not real.
I mean, I wonder how many Snokes there were. There's definitely Snoke babies in jars, and they don't look like babies. They look like they're almost fully formed.
Yeah, full grown, already scarred up.
I don't know,
monstrosities.
I can't help but think that Palpatine wouldn't be able to be Snoke at the same time that he's doing everything he's doing.
See, yeah, I think I believe he was his own consciousness, but he was being influenced by Palpatine.
Like heavily influenced?
What's he doing?
Yes.
He's hooked up to a machine on Exegol. He's not doing anything. All of his fucking cronies are doing all this shit. He doesn't have anything but time, Joseph. He's basically retired. He's like, fuck it. You know how far I'm taking my retirement? I'm gonna create a whole new personality. That's what he did.
I mean, we know the clone troopers all have their own personalities and agency to an extent.
To an extent.
So what if he has like an inhibitor chip, like the clone troopers?
See, that's what I'm thinking. See, yeah, I'm thinking like he was the next level of clone.
When Kylo Ren is not talking to Supreme Leader Snoke, or Supreme Leader Snoke isn't talking to somebody, he's a fucking comatose fucking monstrosity in a chair. That's it.
Don't you think the Praetorian guards would know that though? And be like, man, he sleeps a lot.
Yeah. You know why? Because they're fucking loyal to Palpatine.
That could be.
They're probably handpicked by Palpatine to be in that.
Like maybe they're Sith loyalists, like the guards that he has around him on Exegol.
Yeah.
They did give him a sweet ass gold robe though.
He does have a sweet robe because he's very sleepy. And even DJ says, I could get you into his bedroom, essentially.
He's got a baller ass fucking ring.
He does. I think it has a black kyber crystal in it.
No, I think it's it's like a chunk of Mustafar, I thought.
See, why the fuck would he have that? If he's just a puppet, if he's just a meat puppet.
Palpatine, because he's Palpatine's alter ego. Palpatine is also pretending he's dead.
Yeah.
So he's going to be the opposite of Palpatine in almost every way. He's like, I'm going to wear gold now, and I'm going to have a baller-ass pimp ring. And this is how, and I'm going to pimp out fucking Princess Leia's son. Watch this. Like, you see, like, he's just fucking... I don't see Snoke being a real person at all. He's not real at all.
So you kind of like Wizard of Oz. He's like Palpatine's the man behind the curtain.
Yeah, you're picking up what I'm putting down now. The floating head isn't in that room until people come in that room. You see what I'm saying?
Very true.
Huh. Honestly, I never thought of it that way, but I like the idea that Snoke is just asleep all the time until Palpatine hops in there.
Yeah. That's what he was made for. That's why he, like Palpatine. One day, his fucking weirdo clone people came to him and they're like, "We made this clone, but look, he looks kind of weird, man. Like there's something wrong." And Palpatine was like, "Well, we might still find a use for this guy because you know what? I'm pretending I'm dead. I still want to know what's going on. This guy's gonna be my new face of fucking." People are gonna get they're gonna get crazy theories about who this weirdo is, and it's gonna be me the whole time. Ha ha.
So I think we can agree then that Snoke has zero blame.
Yeah,
zero
because he isn't real.
Zero. He's not real.
Man, he was talking some mad shit then to Kylo when he said that he was just a child in a mask. When in all actuality, Snoke is just literally a mask.
Yeah, he's Emperor Palpatine. That's what that guy does. He talks shit. He's a mean dude.
I mean, he's got the Force lightning, and he definitely has Force powers. And yeah, that makes sense if it's just Palpatine.
He talks, he talks like Palpatine. When you go back and you listen to it, you're like, that's exactly like him fucking talking shit to Vader and fucking talking shit to fucking Luke. Like, he's a shit-talking motherfucker.
Constantly twisting the knife.
Yeah, always. Always such an asshole. That Sheev. 10 out of 10. Sheev.
Yep, absolutely. All right, so I think the next one is kind of a slam dunk to an extent, but I want to see how much blame we're going to place here. Armitage Hux.
Oof. Hux is up there.
Yeah, because him trying to compete, he's literally the reason Hussein Prime got destroyed.
Yeah.
So you place blame completely for Hosnian on Hux, with Palpatine, of course, but you think that Hux was the main one that really pushed that goal forward?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell, he had the press conference prior to doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's the main instigator too for the child kidnappings too.
I don't know because he's not that old. So especially for Finn to be, it wasn't like they were clones where they were accelerated. Yeah, it had to be somebody prior to him. Which I'm thinking it's and I can't think of the actor's name. Shit. I know him from the damn Spice Girls movie with the sad, but he
what you're talking
he
about.
gets killed in Rise of Skywalker. He's what?
Yeah, that guy.
Yeah,
talking about.
General Pride.
Yes.
Pride.
Yes.
Yeah, General Pride.
So I'm thinking Pride was like one of the key components of the kid kidnapping because, like I said, Hux like him and the age of difference between him and Finn is not that much. Hux would have been like 10 possibly when Finn got kidnapped, if even that.
Yeah, his dad. In the books, his dad is part of the Empire and ends up with the First Order. I think his name's like Brendel Hux, and he's a piece of shit. And I think that he probably had a lot to do with the child kidnapping too. But as soon as Kylo says, "Hey, maybe these kids aren't the best way to go. Let's use some clones," Hux is very much like, "Nah, man, I like kidnapping kids. It's the way to go." I mean, he is the main general of the First Order. Any concept of kids has to go through Hux, I would assume.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I was still like, I'm still they're still doing it, but I just don't think he was the
architect.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
No, I agree. They'd been kidnapping kids for a long time, and Palpatine had to have been kidnapping kids in order to make that many people on his Star Destroyer.
Yeah, exactly. Because he had a whole damn army of Sith troopers.
Man, what's with Star Wars and kidnapping people?
I don't know, man.
Like it's a big ongoing thing. Jedi kidnap people, Palpatine kidnaps people, First Order kidnaps people, children in specific.
Jedi, yeah.
War crimes.
War crimes.
God damn. But no, I think Hux to me is probably like an 8 or 9 out of 10 to blame.
Yeah.
I'm saying 8 too. I'd say he's about
and even his spy turn in Rise of Skywalker is just so that he can pretty much one-up Kylo.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I definitely agree. He's about 8 because, I mean, hell, the whole Hussein Prime thing was the catalyst, kind of like for that daggone trilogy.
Yeah, he's mad. He's mad as fuck about fucking Kylo being supreme leader and not him.
I mean, my man was going to shoot him.
Yeah.
He was going to straight up kill him. And then when Kylo's like, "I'm supreme leader now," he's like, maybe not. And then Kylo chokes the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Oy. No, definitely I think Hux is high on the blame scale because I don't think he's particularly manipulated in the same way that Snoke or Kylo is.
Yeah.
No,
his just ambition and like just wanting to be the king.
Yeah, he's worse than any of the generals or admirals in the original trilogy because I think he's just pure like zealot. I think he's just so into the First Order and he believes in it so much that he's like a cult essentially.
Tarkin wasn't even that bad.
Yeah, he doesn't even know why he believes it. He just does, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, I think that's the insidious nature of the First Order. Is I think there really is this big degree of it being like a cult, and almost like they're all brainwashed into doing it. I don't know. There are some people in the First Order that you feel like they have a little bit more agency, and they're not as crazy as Hux or some of the other, like even General Pride. You have the guy that's the Dreadnought commander in The Last Jedi. That guy at least seems like he's got some sense to him.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that guy. That guy's cool. And then the guy from the Young Ones that's the second in command.
Well, Vivian, I think he's tooling with you, sir.
He should have been in The Rise of Skywalker because he doesn't die, as far as I know. I mean, the First Order's pretty victorious at the end of The Last Jedi. I don't think they lost that much stuff.
No.
No, well, he was probably a Rian Johnson hire, and JJ was like, "I need Mariotic Brandy Buck in here."
Yeah.
Sorry, man. We can't afford you, Vivian.
Yep, sorry.
He's like, fine.
Go back to BBC.
So we got to blame. Now it's probably the most complicated one, in my mind.
Yeah.
Kylo / Ben Solo.
Ben's a rough one.
Yeah.
He is. He's the fulcrum for this entire conversation because I've seen conversation where he folks will argue that he's completely blameless. And then I've seen folks say that he is almost as much to blame as Hux.
I would see, that's where I'm leaning towards. I'm leaning towards he's probably about an 8-ish.
Yeah, because I mean, he decimated a damn village.
Yeah.
So I get
He literally, like you were saying earlier, he literally has a tray of fucking dead people's ashes in his room. Like, that, he took pride in his work as well. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, Paco, have you never been to Pier One and just bought a bag of other people's ashes to keep stuff in? Like, I thought that was a pretty common thing to do.
I keep my cell phone in one at night when it's charging.
It's charged with the souls of those who have been vanquished.
Yes.
That's pretty intense behavior. Like,
It is. So I don't know. Like, I'm torn because here's the thing. I don't really understand or know how much mental abuse Ben Solo went through before he ends up as Kylo Ren. If Palpatine is with him since he's like a little one, like let's say he's like 3 or 4 and Palpatine's already using voices to kind of talk to him. Like, where do we hold that for blame? Like, if you were in a court of law and somebody has like a mental illness like that, like, where do you hold them in their ability to hold agency?
it's not an illness, though. This was he wasn't just thinking he was hearing voices. He literally was hearing Palpatine talk to him as Darth Vader and weird shit. Because not only he's fucking ridiculously force sensitive, obviously. He's very, very strong with the Force. And I don't know, man.
Yeah, like trying to put real world blame on it in our make-believe land. Like, that's what I'm trying to struggle with. Because he's obviously has some agency. He has the option to turn away and not kill Han Solo. But he doesn't do that. He's so far down the rabbit hole at that point that he just feels like that's the way to keep going. But is that Palpatine pushing him, or is that him making his own choices?
I mean...
So yeah, I definitely wouldn't put him as high as Hux. But I mean, a lot of that's the thing. Like, we really don't know how long he was being pushed, how long he was being manipulated. Like, that's a hard one. Like I said, some of it was
forever.
Yeah.
He's been manipulated since he was a child by fucking Sheev.
But some of it had to be on his own accord too, though, I think.
See, in the long run, too, this all plays into Sheev's fucking ultimate revenge plan. This is him playing, like, the fucking long con again. He's like, well, not only am I gonna fucking still make this galaxy a tough place to live in, and fucking get my followers still in control of this fucking galaxy, but I'm also going to fucking mindfuck my enemies literally as hard as possible by using their own fucking family against them.
They threw me in the shoot. I'm going to use that against them.
That's pretty gnarly.
That's why he's 10 out of 10. He's the worst. Palpatine, that's why I think at the end of the day, people might complain about Palpatine being in the sequel trilogy, but the fact that he's been manipulating Ben Solo from the start is like the piece de resistance. Like, I just think it's fantastic. Like, that part in the beginning of Rise of Skywalker where he says he's the voice inside his head is just, I remember seeing that as like a preview and I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I love that idea. And I think it adds a whole nother layer to Kylo Ren / Ben Solo. Ben Solo in general, I think he has agency, but I also think that the mental abuse that happened because of Palpatine almost acquits him of some of it. He's making choices, like he's making a choice to kill Lor San Tekka and that entire village. Nobody's pushing him to do that. That was a choice that he made because he wasn't getting his way right then and there.
No, very true.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
I mean, I don't know how much of... Obviously, they knew they were building Starkiller Base to, I don't know, kill stars. And I didn't see him saying, let's not use this. Like, he's not the type of person even as Supreme Leader, he kills Bulio. He kills all sorts of people. There's no way he's a good guy as Supreme Leader. It didn't all change because he met Rey. There's no way.
No.
He's selfish in that way. And I think the selfishness of it, I don't think that can be fully blamed on Palpatine and like essentially a mental disorder in a way. But I don't know. I mean, if it is like that, if it is like a mental disorder, I can't blame somebody that has a mental disorder. That's not how that works.
Yeah,
But then again, I mean, you do have people in real world situations who have had mental disorders, but are still like just kind of somewhat pure evil people. So it's like really hard to judge.
It's true. I mean, even with a disorder like that, or him knowing that something's not right, there were people that asked him if he needed help. Han Solo asked him if he needed help. Rey asked him if he needed help, and he turned them down each time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. That's pretty controversial. Like the concept that like he's beyond redemption, which obviously he wasn't, is, I don't know. It's an interesting idea. That's kind of why I wanted to talk about it, because
part of his redemption too, though, is literally he basically died. You know what I'm saying? He basically had to die, and because Rey saved his life with the Force. I mean, I don't know. Like, that's what changed him.
But
like,
not just that, though, too. His mother's sacrifice.
Like, that's what changed him. Like, he realized there is good in the world. You know what I mean? Like, that was his big aha moment.
Yeah.
Like, he literally almost died.
I wonder if part of that, too, though, is he also realized that, Palpatine had been every voice inside his head. That maybe he realized at that point that these weren't things that he was thinking. They were things that he was forced to think.
He's like, my parents were right. They weren't against me. They were trying to help me.
Yeah, and I think that's another argument I've seen a lot too, is that people kind of blame Han and Leia as parents and Luke. And I don't particularly think that's exactly fair either.
No.
Because I don't think any of them are shown as anything other than caring for Ben, with the exception of Luke kind of maybe possibly thinking about taking out the next Vader. Because that's a pretty good reason to think that maybe the voices in your head aren't telling the truth. But Luke realized his mistake.
Yeah, he doesn't go through with it.
Yeah, he doesn't go through with it, and he literally gives up on everything that he was trying to do because of it, because he failed.
Yeah, because he knew. Yeah, he knew I should have never even taken that path.
I mean,
that was the path he never have taken.
And in the books, Leia doesn't even tell Ben that Vader's his granddad. He finds out like later through like almost like a leaked press release, because she's still doing politics, and somebody figures out finally that she is the daughter of Vader.
Figures it out, and that's how
That's probably not the best parenting. Probably should have told him early on.
That's pretty crazy. But I mean, I don't know. Leia, I don't blame her not wanting to really talk about him being her dad. I mean, he did torture her.
And he wasn't.
Blow up her home planet, basically.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, he wasn't her dad. Bail Organa is her dad. And that's why she retains the Organa name and not Skywalker.
Yep.
I mean, I don't know. That's something that's always bothered me about Luke, is that he really doesn't give two shits about Lars or Aunt Beru.
No, he doesn't.
Poor Owen gives his life for this nephew of his, and his nephew gives two shits.
Yeah. He's more concerned about the old man he knew for a couple of hours.
Kylo is an interesting one, and I just don't know what the depth of the mindfuckery that happened to him made him Kylo Ren.
Yeah, see, we're also doing lots of speculating, and we're talking about a character that doesn't really have that much media compared to some other characters. You know what I mean? Like, we know a whole hell of a lot about Sheev Palpatine, but really we don't know that much about Ben growing up.
Like, are we assuming that every time he talks to the helmet, of course, it's Palpatine, right?
That's what I'm assuming.
And how is he never figured out that Vader's not a good guy? Like, what does he want to fit? Like, I don't get what his motivation is to be like Vader. when he knows that Vader's not good.
Yeah.
Like, what?
I don't
see what Palpatine could say.
Yeah, what made him be like, yo, I want to be a villain?
Because you would think, too,
saying?
as like once that story came out, Leia had to sit him down like, look, yeah, that's my birth father, but he was not a good man.
And Luke would have told him the same thing.
Exactly.
So it has to be out there that Vader is not a good person. Like, literally everything you see is Vader's not good, except for Luke's story that he had good in him at the end and that he beat the Emperor.
And Luke will probably even argue the fact that that's not Darth Vader. That was Anakin Skywalker who did that.
True.
Not.
So what would the ghost of Vader be telling him that would make him justify the actions that he's taking? I mean, I read the Rise of Kylo Ren comic series by Charles Soule, and it does a lot of pushing and pulling to kind of make Ben not as bad as he may have been portrayed in The Force Awakens. It takes a lot of blame away from him, to say the least. Okay. Like, that comic basically is kind of pointing out that he doesn't destroy the Jedi Temple, that he basically is knocked out after everything that happens, and when he wakes up, the Jedi Temple's on fire because there's like a lightning blast, essentially, that he doesn't realize that he did it or if Palpatine did it. There's a lot of gray between there. Actually, I don't think he even is knocked out. I think he actually sees it happen. From what we know, Ben never used Force lightning, so it was probably Palpatine.
It was Yoda, like he did the tree.
Oh, Yoda. Such a little asshole. I mean, Yoda does use some Force lightning, doesn't he?
But yeah, I definitely agree with you on that point. So it's like,
I don't know. Like, I'm willing to almost give him like a 5 out of 10. Like, I almost put him just above Snoke, because Snoke is nothing. But I
5 out of 10.
Because Kylo he does bad stuff. Like, it's undeniable that he was ready and willing to kill Luke, hands down. He was going to kill him. I don't think any pushing on faux Vader or Palpatine was pushing that. He was just there already.
He killed fucking Han Solo.
Yep.
Good God.
Yeah, what could Palpatine have told him to do that? The only thing I can think of is it really is, as a kid, it got so messed up by hearing voices in his head that weren't his, that were driving his decisions, that Ben really is like a victim of mental abuse. And that almost makes me want to lower his score, like down to like a 3. But I can't help but think he has agency.
Yeah, he likes what he does, though. He does. He likes it.
The Pier One ashes, are evidence of that, I think.
He likes being a bad guy.
Yeah, Supreme Leader. He takes over real quick.
Yeah, like, he even tells Rey, he's like, I don't want to fucking just, like, hang out with you. I want you to be my fucking queen. We're going to fucking rule this place still. I'm still going to be Supreme Leader. Like,
yeah, he wants an empress. Only reason he's even trying to work with Palpatine and he doesn't kill him on the spot is because he wants that fleet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And at that point, he knew he was putting voices in his head. So yeah.
Exactly. I mean, he was done with Palpatine at that point. I think that's the closest we see to him having full agency is after he finds out that Palpatine has been manipulating him the entire time. And we talked about this in the Rule of Two episode too. But when I rewatched The Rise of Skywalker recently, I had missed a line completely that I just completely forgot about. Palpatine tells General Pride that the General Organa has ruined his plan again. And it's right after Kylo becomes Ben again. Which makes me feel like, he was planning on having Kylo's body instead of Rey.
Yeah.
Yep.
So another reason I would still keep him at about a 5.2 is Kimji. He destroyed that planet.
Was that his orders? I thought that was no, that was General Pride and Palpatine's orders.
Oh yeah, yes, you're right. You're actually right.
Yeah, he'd already turned at that point on the Death Star.
I retract that statement.
The Death Star on Kefbir is, I think, the turning point for sure, where you see his agency turn. Because when he is on Kimji and he's trying to get Rey to turn back towards him, and they have that little fight between her quarters and Kimji, I think he's still breaking free from the manipulation at that point. Like, he's starting to realize he has more agency to make decision.
I feel it.
Yes, I definitely do too.
All right, so did I talk you guys down from an 8 out of 10?
Oh, I had him initially at a 7, but I definitely, like I said, I do put him at about a 5, about a halfway.
Oh, I'll go down to 7. I'll take 1 point away.
Right on.
Still a bad dude.
Yeah, he's definitely a bad dude. He's
very bad dude.
he's
and like I said, we don't even know everything that dude got up to.
Nah, man. He cut Bulio's head off and carried it around with him.
Yeah.
He had no reason to bring it to that conference room.
Yeah.
And he knew already. He knew that he'd been manipulated the whole time. So he wanted to do that on his own.
He got his gang back together.
You know, he didn't want to kill his mom, though. He had enough agency not to want to do that in The Last Jedi.
Yes, very true.
Interesting. I hadn't even thought about that till now. Yeah, I don't know. I feel bad for Ben Solo. I mean, he has a tough card, I think, being the son of 2 heroes of the Republic, you know? Or, yeah, the New Republic.
Well, and I mean, just related to 3 total. So, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I feel like he was almost destined to break bad, no matter what. Because he could have never lived up to expectations in a way.
And the grandson of, like, the galaxy's greatest villain. You know what I mean? Like, got a rough go.
Yep. I still wish we could have seen Force Ghost of Anakin. Kind of be like, what the hell, man? What are you doing? What are you doing, grandson? Just stop. You've probably been like, what voice is this? I'm very confused now. Because Palpatine would be like, no, do it. It's like, but I don't know.
Then all the little younglings that came like their Force Ghosts, shut the hell up, Anakin! Killed us!
Force Ghosts. Those kids are just doomed. They didn't even get to become Force Ghosts.
No.
Well, maybe. Kanan got to be a Force Ghost. A bunch of those other random Jedis did. I think that maybe somehow, once Anakin came through, he just opened the gates and said, all right, everybody.
Anyone can do it now.
Yep.
You get a ghost, you get a ghost, you get a ghost.
I just unlocked it. I unlocked free Force Ghosts for everyone.
Up, down,
Yeah, it's
right, left, right.
Up, down.
It's on everybody's ability tree now.
Hey. All right, boys. I think we've established our blame game. Who's going to prison?
Yeah.
Who's winning?
We left out Disney, though. Walt Disney, he didn't make the list. And Kathleen Kennedy, I thought she might have had some of these bodies on her hands.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm just being facetious. I'm just being one of those guys. No, I love Kathleen Kennedy and I love Walt Disney.
Yep. It's not one of those podcasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. We're not going to fill out an entire webpage in a book on all the things that Pablo Hidalgo did wrong or harass Matt Martin. Yeah. By the way, Matt Martin is like the nicest guy on Twitter. Like, Matt Martin will literally answer a ton of questions. He's just a cool dude and he likes ska music and punk. So, Matt Martin, shout out. Good job. You're the man. That dude. But anyway, you guys got anything else?
No, I'm good, man.
All right, boys. I think that is the end of the blame game and the end of this week's episode.
Yes, sir.
All right. Paco.
Catch you on the next game with what Ewok was worse.
Tebow. Tebow's the worst. Wicked.
Dude, the Ewoks killed some people. They had a dress ready, which means they murdered some people.
Oh, for sure. Ewoks, I don't even know how to put blame or war crimes on the Ewoks.
They ate those stormtroopers too. Think about that.
Yep.
They did, for sure.
Yeah, because they were ready to eat. They were ready to eat Han and Luke. So yeah, there's some eating of humans. I don't even know if that's wrong because it's not like they're humans.
They didn't even take their clothes off. They were going to cook them with their clothes on. Crazy little furball bastards.
So yeah, it was all the Ewoks' fault.
Playing on at the end, those are dudes they ate.
Yum num.
Yeah. Yum num means flesh.
Flesh of the manlings. All right, Paco, where can we find you at?
You can find me on Instagram at Paco Bentley. It's mostly just pictures of my boy and what music I listen to. Every once in a while, something else cool. Who knows? It's stupid. Check it out.
That's Instagram for you. Dope. Malachi.
You can find me at Dynamite, DYNOMITE Geeks on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter.
Cool. I am on Twitter at Lord Firedeath, and on Instagram. I like how I had to think of that. It's the same username that I have on everything, at Lord Firedeath. Yeah. So there's no effort there. You could follow us on the podcast at the Boonta Eve Party Planners on Instagram or at Beep, BEPP Podcast on Twitter. So we should have another episode out pretty soon, hopefully. We may have a little hiatus coming up, but we're working on some stuff to kind of get out there. It's just got some crazy times coming up, but we'll do what we can to get it out. As always, we appreciate you guys listening, giving us any reviews or ratings on iTunes. I think it's Apple Podcast. iTunes doesn't exist anymore, does it? I don't know. Whatever. Apple. We're on one of those Apple things, and we like reviews and we like ratings, and it helps other people see the podcast. So big shout out to anybody that does that. Thank you for listening. Thanks.
Thank you.
But we appreciate it, and I appreciate everybody talking about it. So yeah, all right. Mace Windows, see us out, my friend.
This party's over.